Hello and welcome to another interesting English language class. My name is Precious Balogun. Our theme for today is oracy skills spoken English, and our topic is consonants followed by k and j sounds. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to recognize and pronounce words with the sh consonant sounds distinctly and correctly. Pronounce k in words and identify consonants followed by the k in words. Before we go into the study proper, let's remember that a consonant sound is a sound produced by partial airflow or partial obstruction of air from the voice box. Today, our focus will be on the k sound, which is a combination of the k and sounds, and the u sound, which is a combination of the u and u sounds. Now, let's take a look at these sounds properly. The k sound is a combination of a consonant and a vowel sound. That's why we have it written as QU, which is pronounced k in words. Some examples are question, inquisitive, quote, equal, quench, and lastly we have quite. The k sound is a combination of two consonant sounds, the k and the h sounds. Therefore, it is a consonant cluster. Now let's see how we can pronounce this sound properly. Now, let's start with the k sound. This sound is produced by placing the back of your tongue against the soft palate, which is at the back of the mouth, and then forcefully releasing air out of the mouth. Next, we have the h sound. This sound is produced by rounding our lips to form a circular shape, and then air is released as we widen our lips, like a smile. Now let's pronounce it together. Let's see how we can pronounce these consonant sounds together as a whole. The k sound is produced by placing the back of our tongue against the roof of our mouth and with our lips rounded at the same time. Now let's try these words that have the k sound. First, we have quarantine. Next, we have equipment. And lastly, we have queen. Did you notice the position of your tongue and the shape of your lips while pronouncing? Now, try pronouncing those words again. Let's take a look at more things that we can learn about the k sound. The k sound sometimes comes after a vowel sound or a consonant sound in a word. Let's take a look at some examples. For the vowel sounds, we have words like equal, where we have the E sound, the long E sound. Next, we have aquarium, where we have the schwa sound coming before the k sound. Next, we have request, where we have the E sound, the short E sound. For the consonant sounds, we have square, where we have the S sound coming before the k sound. Next, we have inquiry, where we have the N sound coming before the k sound. And lastly, we have enquire, where we have the N sound coming before the k sound. Having known this, let's go to the focus of this study, which is looking at consonant sounds that come before the k sound. Consonant sounds followed by the k sound are the S sound, the N sound, the Ng sound, and the Th sound. Now, let's take a look at these sounds one after the other. First, we'll start with the S sound. we have words like squid, squad, squirrel, and squall. Next, we have the n sound in words like inquisitive, enquiry, inquire, and inquisition. For the ng sound, we have the word conquest. And for the th sound, we have earthquake. Having seen the examples of consonant sounds followed by the q sound, let's take a listening practice. Now listen to identify the consonants followed by the q sound in the following sentences. Sentence 1. The boy loves playing with squirrels. We have the s sound here. Sentence 2. An inquisitive child asks many questions. And we have the n sound. Sentence 3. There was an earthquake in Mars. We have the th sound. And lastly, sentence 4. He lost his last conquest. And we have the ng sound. Having looked at all these, let's go on to learn about the j sound. The j sound is a combination of the y and u sound. Now let's take a look at how we can pronounce these sounds separately. The j sound is a consonant sound that is produced by raising the middle part of your tongue against the center of the roof of your mouth without touching it. Next, we have the u sound. Now, it can either be the short u or u sound. And these sounds are vowel sounds. Whether it is the long or the short sound, it is produced with our lips rounded while the tongue is raised and moved towards the back of the mouth. Now let's see how we can pronounce these sounds together. The j sound is produced by raising the middle part of our tongue against the center of the roof of our mouth without touching it and with our lips rounded. Let's take a look at some examples. We have use, music, computer, uniform, student, beautiful, community, unit, and few. Having known how to pronounce the u sound, let's see the consonant sounds followed by this sound. The consonant sounds followed by the u sound are the d, p, g, h, k, f, b, m, v, t, l, n, and s sounds. Now join me as we take a look at these sounds and their examples. We'll start with the d sound. We have endure, during, due, duration, endue, and draw. For the p sound, we have population, computer, repute, popular, and pew. For the g sound, we have argument, argue, and regular. For the h sound, we have human, hue, humane, humidity, humorous, huge, and humus. For the k sound, we have pure, curious, curative, cue, skew, rescue, and cute. For the f sound, we have future, few, curfew, confuse, fuse, refuse, and fusion. For the b sound, we have beautiful, beauty, vocabulary, beautician, and beautify. For the sound, we have music, amuse, communicate, community, and immune. Going on for the v sound, we have review, view, reviewer, viewer, and review. Next, we have the t sound. We have student, stupid, stew, steward, studio, and studious. Next, we have the sound with words like value, devalue, and devaluation. Also, we have the sound. We have words like manual, new, continue, renew, news, and newt. Having seen all these, remember I mentioned that the s sound is also a consonant sound followed by the j sound. Now, let's take a look at the s sound. In some words, the s sound is followed by the u sound. And in some cases, we have the u sound as silent or it is hardly heard. Let's take a look at some examples. We have suit. Also, we have sue. And lastly, we have sued. I'm sure you've enjoyed this section. Now, let's take a listening practice. Join me. Listen to identify the consonants followed by the U sound in the underlined words below. Sentence 1. I have a new dress. Sentence 2. My mother made some delicious stew last night. Sentence 3. She wants to view that film. And lastly, sentence 4. He does not know the value of diamond. So with these, we have come to the end of today's class. I'm sure you enjoyed the teaching so far. Let's take a quick summary of all we've learned so far. We've learnt that the consonant sounds followed by the q sounds are the s, n, ng, and t sounds. And lastly, we've learnt that the consonants followed by the u sound are the d, p, g, h, k, f, b, v, t, l, n, and s sounds. Now, let's take some test questions. Question 1. Which of the following words have a consonant sound followed by the q sound? Option A, knock. Option B, quantity. Option C, quiver. Option D, square. The correct answer is D, square. Question 2. From the options below, identify the word with a consonant followed by the U sound. Option A, student. Option B, junior. Option C, turning. Or option D, stand. The correct answer is A, student. I'm sure by now you can identify the consonant sounds followed by the q sound and the j sound. Till we meet again in our next class, see you and bye!